Hello, everybody. Welcome to another video for Cowardly Dog Howloween Marathon. Today, of course, is the final 3 episodes of Season 2. Don't forget, tomorrow is the beginning of Season 3. So, we're going to talk about Evil Weevil, McPhearson Phantom, the House of Discontent, the Sandwhale Strikes, and the Tower of Douglas Zalost. So, the first episode that we're going to talk about is called Evil Weevil. So, on the way home, Courage, Eustace, and Muriel accidentally run into this Weevil, who is, and by the way, they look up from getting food. So, they're on their way home and they accidentally hit this Weevil, and this Weevil, and Muriel feels sorry for him, so they take him home. Now this Weevil is evil. That's why it's called Evil Weevil. So, he tells them that he is a thieves Weevil, which he's supposed to serve people. Obviously, going thieves. So he, goes around and does things for them, like giving them pie and then he, eats watermelon. And as he's doing stuff for them, he starts draining them of their, I guess, their blood? I don't know what it is. But eventually, Muriel tells Eustace he doesn't look so good and tells him to go outside. Now, him being so skinny now, he starts floating in the wind. Of course, when Courage gets back inside, he's already the Weevil is sucking out Muriel's we'll call it fat up. And so he tells Eustace he's drawing him a bath. And of course, the Weevil decides to go ahead and drain more of him. And, oh yeah, this is the part where he goes outside. It's not this part. So he starts training him more. And when he goes back outside, Eustace is blowing wind. And Courage just barely touches him. And he turns to dust. Of course, when he goes back inside with him, he sees Muriel who's getting sucked even more. And then he decides to challenge him to a duel of disgustingness. Yeah. And the Weevil warns Courage that he has eaten the most disgusting stuff of all time. So the first one is boiled broccoli. Now, I don't know about you, but boiled broccoli doesn't sound too good to me. I like broccoli, but boiled broccoli, ugh. And him and Courage both eat it without a problem. Then it's rancid boiled broccoli, which is really disgusting. It's moldy and all that good stuff. And they both eat it without any problems. The third one is rancid boiled broccoli that was between his toes. Eee. Of course, Courage can't stomach it, and the Weevil eats it and, basically throws up, and the Weevil, continues to suck up Muriel stuff. But Courage has an idea. He takes the Weevil's mouth and sticks it on him, making him suck up the rest of his fat. And so he goes up to him and he speaks to this little bitty bug. And he kisses and goes, Stupid dog! Alright, so the next episode is obviously the House of Discontent. So in this episode, the episode starts out with them outside looking out at this flower. And obviously it's dead. Well, it's wilted. It's not dead yet, but it will be. And they're trying everything to basically revive it. But when they get inside, they hear this, "Get out." And you continue hearing this, even useless. And then this phantom, I guess you could call it a phantom. It might also be a ghost. Comes out and he tells him, "Get out." And it's the harvest moon. So he tells him that they can't grow anything. It's the harvest moon. They have not been able to grow anything. So they want to sow. He wants them to sow. And he tells them that if they can give him something growing within by midnight, he'll let them stay. But if they do not, they have to leave. So Curtis goes back out and tries to get the plant to grow while this floating head guy starts calling him useless. And Muriel calls him, "You're stubborn." So Curtis tries all kinds of things. He tries to give sunlight, unnatural sunlight, by the way, giving it water through an IV, and they get to argue with this ghost. And eventually, it strikes midnight, and so it's like, "You didn't know anything. Now get out." And since they don't leave, they get locked up. And now it starts melting. So Curtis gets the idea. By the way, there's a leaky pipe in the basement. So Curtis gets the idea, I can use that leaky pipe that we've seen before to make this flower grow. So he can't get in the basement and he can't get through the front door. Obviously, there's a point in the episode where he takes a truck and crosses through the front door. I don't know why he didn't use that before, but okay. So he digs down into the house, and again, like I said, the house is melting. And when he goes to get the water for the pipe, it's melted and there's sand coming out. But Gloria and Eustace are both sweating. So he takes the flower pot over to them, and they grow. He makes it grow. And that guy says, "You are done, White. Told. Now you can stay." And so the episode ends with Eustace selling this flower, which is pretty good. Alright, so the next one is the Sand Whale. Oh yeah, I forgot. McPhearson Phantom. We'll do that now. But it's still the same thing. It's still the same. It's still the same episode, by the way. That's what I did out as Evil Weevil. Anyway, McPhearson Phantom is an episode where Eustace and Muriel they're sitting around, and that last episode was the House of Discontent. This is McPhearson Phantom. So this Phantom, as the episode opens up, Yo-Yo's folding all of Eustace's clothes, and he picks one off the bottom of the pile of clothes, and apparently, and this we'll see what's going on for real, but he gets folded into. He's like, ah! You folded me my clothes too tight. And then let's see. I'm trying to remember. Oh, this he signs his shoes, which explodes. And then finally, see, cleans his hat, and he gets pecked on the head by chickens. So Eustace decides that he's going to go outside where it's safe, but not before he's calling his ma, who is a trained therapist. Okay, she's not technically one because he's more of a quack. So she goes over and she starts asking stupid questions like, what's 2 plus 2? And he's like, if you keep answering these wrong, your courage is on the rocks. So Courage goes upstairs to his computer and wants to learn how to be a therapist. So when the computer tells Courage, gives him a couple of tests. Like, let's see. How do you spell our session is over, pay me money? And he tells him, you twit, there's no Q in Cincinnati. And then the second question he goes, if Davy has 2 apples and Bart has 2 apples, well, they just shut up and just eat already. And while this is all happening, Eustace's ma meets the Phantom, and they devise a plan to make them hate each other, Muriel and Eustace. And so Courage takes Muriel and Eustace upstairs and, talks to them. At one point, they hit each other with these big rubber bats, and Muriel's telling them that why would she do this stuff to him? So they finally come to terms, and the Phantom comes up and feels a disturbance in the force. And Ma comes upstairs and she tells him that needs to be fighting. And then she spills the beans about what really happened. See, the Phantom in this episode, the reason why she hates Muriel is because she thinks that her great aunt fed her husband her ancestor to a sea serpent. But guess who admits to it? His ma admits that her aunt actually did it. And obviously she runs out through with lobsters, and there's this thing beforehand with lobsters that she puts in the pants. I gotta say, this is a good episode. Okay, back on track. I'm sorry I got that off there, but you get the idea. So, this next one is the Sandwell Strikes. Now, the Sandwell Strikes is an interesting episode. So, this episode starts off with a whale looking for its accordion. And apparently, Eustace's dad, Icket, that's his name, I'm not kidding, stole it from him. Or cheated it out of him. So, he is wanting it back. And since Eustace looks just like his dad, he thinks that Eustace is Icket. So, he he tells him he wants it back. So Eustace tells him, I don't have my accordion. Even if I did, I'm going to give it to you. So they go around and fight, and Samuel is like, okay, if you don't give it to me, I'll make you give it. And he takes him away. Apparently, Eustace's ma has the. Oh, by the way, in McPhearson Phantom, Guard shows ink blot. Obviously, it's a therapist. So anyway, he takes away and Guards goes see Eustace's ma. This is the only two. This is the another episode where you see Eustace's ma. So she does have the accordion, and she tells him that they're going to go out and find this whale. So they do, and she gives him a rowboat. Now, this is a sand whale, and there's no water. So they go out, and Kurt starts playing it, and the whale's still out there. Obviously, they get on top of a tree, and they fall off a cliff, and then they see the little sand whale. So what happens next is they start chasing after it while Kurtz is playing the accordion. And then eventually he starts trying to give it back to him. He's like, and this is the only point in the series where Ma's actually mean to Kurt. You stupid dog. And so he starts playing it, and then the whale is seen coming after her, and Kurt starts playing it, and then the whale goes up, tries and gets his accordion back, and this is his mom nets him. By the way, that's how his plans on getting him. But Kurt snips it. So he gets it back, and that's not the end of the episode, because he spits out Eustace and Muriel, and there's some funny scenes too, like Eustace finds his chair, then he finds a fridge, and eventually he spits them back out, and he goes off, and Muriel says, what does a whale want with an accordion? Apparently, the whale is a part of a group of whales that are playing the accordion. Alright, so this is the final part of today's video, which is the Tower of Dr. Zalost. So the Tower of Dr. Zalost is an episode about a full 30-minute episode. This is a two-part episode, if you will. So, Dr. Zalost is a lonely character. And you can tell because he's kind of got this facial expression like he's sad all the time. So what does he want? Well, he wants $33 million. Otherwise, he'll keep shooting these cannonballs that make everybody sad. Just as miserable as he is. And of course, he gets in front of him, tries to tell the mayor. If he doesn't, he'll just make him miserable. And the mayor goes, they're already miserable. We just up the taxes. So he continues shooting, and he kicks him out. And there's this rat that is shooting these cannonballs. I kind of feel sorry for Rat in this episode because he doesn't deserve what he gets from Dr. Zalost. until the end, obviously. So they continue going along, and they think they got everybody except for one. So while this is happening, Muriel is making her happy plums. Something that would make anybody in the world happy if they ate them, except for Eustace. Don't ask me why. Let's just say there's a reason. So he they make them in curds. Is putting sour cream on them, and it's uneven. And so he starts, trying to make it even, and then he just decides to eat it all. And Mario goes, "Did you eat all our happy plums?" He goes, "Ha ha ha ha." He can see it on his face. It's like, it's okay, guys. We'll make more. And so, Dr. Zalost, Eustace goes out to find out about his paper because he wants his paper. And when he goes out there, he finds out that there's no paper because obviously everybody's sad. And then he turns on the news to find out that everybody's sad in this episode. So, Dr. Zalost finds out that that rat did miss one. And by the way, this whole episode, it was a hug for Rat. And Rat doesn't want anything to do with Dr. Zalost at first. So he hugs him and he goes, "You're doing it wrong. And get away from me." So when he looks out his tower, he sees that there's still two people that are happy. So he shoots a cannonball at Eustace, who's unfazed. Excuse me. And then he shoots one at Muriel, who is phased. And then he tries to shoot the cards, and he gets away from it. And he sticks Muriel into a cupboard. And Dorian puts himself in the cupboard. And Zalost is like, "I think we got them all." So Kurt tries to feed her happy plums. And it doesn't work. And then he gets the idea that maybe if he were to go in and find the antidote, which there isn't any, except for one thing I'll tell you in a minute, he can make everything okay again. So he goes up to Eustace. He goes, "You got a plan, huh? Well, leave me out of it." So we go back to the Tower of Zalost, and ding dong, and it's Eustace with a pizza. The only way he got Eustace to do what he wanted him to do was tell him that he could get $20 if he does so. And so the rat obviously gets pizza and sits on the couch and goes upstairs and goes, "I didn't eat pizza. Get away from me." And so Courage is seen inside the box, and him and the rat get into a fight. Eventually, the rat getting hit by one of the cannonballs, which turns him into a giant rat. I don't know why it makes any sense, but it's a cartoon. So Courage remembers something that Muriel said. Her happy plums will make anybody happy. So he flings one at the rat. He does it a baby rat. So he goes upstairs and faces Dr. Zalost. And they get into a fight, and eventually he gets back upstairs and using a winch, and Dr. Zalost has a whole he's like, "You should have took the stairs. It's much faster." So Courage tosses hat and plums at Dr. Zalost, which drops into the vat that makes the cannonballs. And they turn pink, which obviously makes everybody happy again. And then Dr. Zalost runs out to him and Matt, who's still a baby. And then Kurtz takes the cannonball and tosses at Muriel. And Dr. Zalost goes in and tosses one, and it hits Eustace, and he turns into ass. Then Dr. Zalost runs into the kitchen, and Courage is underneath the counter and turns. Then you hear the start of Dr. Zalost say, "Plums? I love plums!" And he's one, and he turns into a good guy. And he goes, "How did you make this?" Obviously, it's with vinegar. So, that is the end of the episode. Alright, tomorrow, we're going to be doing next season, season 3. Muriel meets her match, which the next two episodes. Muriel meets her match, Courage versus Mecha Courage, Campsite of Terror, and Record Deal. I'll see you guys tomorrow with more Courage the Cowardly Dog Halloween. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'll see you guys in the next video.